before I start this video, I want to give a warning that this is going to contain some pretty sensitive topics, and the only reason that I'm making this video is because some people still don't know the full story of Karl Malone and how terrible of a person he is. And hopefully, any respect and credibility that Karl Malone has will go away. But with that being said, let's get into the story of how Karl Malone ruined his legacy. Karl Malone, as most of you know, is a very well-known, accomplished basketball player. He played for the Utah Jazz in the 90s, and he led the Jazz to 2 finals appearances in 1997 and 1998. However, he was matched up against the Michael Jordan-led Chicago Bulls both years and never won a championship. But overall, he had a great career in the NBA. He is the 3rd all-time leading scorer in points, behind Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and LeBron James, which is a pretty big deal. So you might be asking, what could Karl Malone have possibly done that was so bad that it should diminish all of his accomplishments? Well, what if I told you that Karl Malone should have never been in the NBA? Before Karl Malone was in the NBA, in 1983, he was in his sophomore year of college at Louisiana Tech. He was 20 years old at the time, and he was an amazing basketball player, and everyone around him knew that he was going to be in the NBA. And then, while playing basketball in college with all the potential in the world to be a great, when everything was perfect for Karl Malone, he decided to have sex with a 12-year-old, which was, even in the 1980s and even in Louisiana, very, very illegal. The 12-year-old would get pregnant, and Karl Malone should have rightfully been sent to jail. Instead, the family decided, since they were way too poor to be able to take care of the child, that they would not press charges against him, and they would wait until he made it to the NBA so he can make millions of dollars and support his child. You would think, considering this family pretty much saved Karl Malone's life after he did something as horrible as getting a 12-year-old pregnant, since the family decided they weren't going to ruin his basketball opportunities and all they would ask for him is money to support his child, you would really think that Karl Malone would have the utmost appreciation and be extremely thankful to this family, and their request shouldn't be a problem at all. I'm sure the family was extremely upset with them, and I'm sure they did want to throw him in jail, like anyone else would. Like, it's not surprising at all that a family would be a little upset that a 20-year-old got their 12-year-old pregnant. And when you think Karl Malone couldn't make the situation any worse, once he made it to the NBA, he ignored the family completely. The family had to take him to court, go through DNA tests, just to get enough money to support the kid. And all the family asked for was around $150 a week. Now, $150 a week may seem like a lot to the average person, but consider the fact that Karl Malone had just signed an NBA contract for $3 million at the time. This was nothing to him. And it was towards the family that could have easily ruined his chances of even playing in the NBA if they wanted to. There is no way the NBA would have let Karl Malone into the league if he had gone to jail for being the word I can't say on YouTube that starts with a P, or even if they had knowledge of it. Karl Malone got to go through his entire NBA career with basically nobody knowing what he did. It wouldn't be until years after he retired that the story went everywhere. Surprisingly, the kid grew up to be an NFL player for the Buffalo Bills and the Philadelphia Eagles named Demetrius Bell. Karl Malone still has never had a relationship with his kid, and Demetrius said in an interview that his dad once told him that it was too late to build a relationship with him and that he had no interest. And another reason that I'm making this video is, you would think after a story like this gets out, everybody would make sure to never give this guy a platform again and never associate with him ever again. But no, just this year, the NBA decided that Karl Malone was a good fit to be a judge for the dunk contest. I know the reason is that the All-Star event was held in Utah and they wanted to get their franchise legend, but the NBA at this point is well aware of what he did, and the fact that they still decided to let him be a part of anything in their company is absolutely disgusting. And in case you guys thought that since all of this has happened that maybe Karl Malone has had his come to Jesus moment and maybe he's a better person. But no, when he was asked about his past in an interview, this is what he said. Word for word, regarding the situation, he said, "I'm not discussing any of that. I don't care. That's my life, it's my personal life, and I'll deal with that like I've had to deal with everything. So, whatever." I genuinely hope that Karl Malone has to live the rest of his life absolutely hated and ridiculed for what he did, and he should never get the opportunity to work for the NBA or any other company again in his life. Nothing that he did in the NBA means anything anymore. Absolutely none of it. His career should be disrespected for generations on. Everybody please make sure that if anybody tries to put any respect on Karl Malone's name, make sure to remind them of what this guy did. That's about as much as I want to talk about this guy anymore, so thank you all for watching. I apologize that this video definitely wasn't a very happy topic, but I promise the rest of my videos are usually not like this at all. Make sure to check out my last video where I discussed the time Allen Iverson embarrassed Michael Jordan with his crossover. Make sure to subscribe and leave suggestions for what you guys want to see next in the comments below, and fuck Karl Malone.
Fuck up, that boy a bimbo. Getting low, they playing limbo. Tried to slice me, I went Kimbo. Op hoes get turned to widows. He was stretching shit for shit show. Now he riding in a limo. I'm the fiddler on the roof, I'm sending 50 out the window. I used to work at Five Below, but now I keep that Five Below. Them hearts cold, would they melt? Robert Frost or does it explode? Them boys suck, to each his own. They tried to slide, epic poem. So if it's smoke, then let me know. They dropped the post to postpone.